Charity Mutesi, thank you for joining us this evening. How was your experience reading the news?
Oh boy, I don't know how you guys do it, but I was so nervous. Like, I feel like the whole world is watching.
No, you didn't show it. You didn't show it. So who is Charity Mutesi? Take us through your journey, especially as an entrepreneur.
Well, like you said, my name is Charity Mutesi. That's a good question and complicated question as well. But my name is Charity Mutesi, and I'm proudly Rwandan. As an entrepreneur, I can say, or as Charity Mutesi, to the journey that I am to where I am today, I can say it's God and a great background of a family. But I did my undergrad in international business, and I feel like as a young child, my parents have always made sure that we go to work. Like literally, you cannot just have a break. Like holidays and all those 2 months breaks, like you just don't go home and sleep. You gotta go to work. So I feel like that's something that has helped us. Like, I need to work. I need to work. And yeah, so I moved back here in 2018, and I started with the help of the family. Of course, I'm not gonna get the credit. With the help of the family, and we started a retail business in home appliances in town, and I guess that's a little bit of a brief introduction.
So Charity, of course, you lived and worked abroad, left a very good job, decided to come back home and join the family business. How easy was it for you to make this decision? Because we're seeing young people, going for greener pastures. They don't want to come back. They prefer to stay abroad than come back, back to Africa and work.
It was not an easy decision, I can say. It took me like 2 months to make that decision. And one time I was at work. I used to work for a non-profit in the States. A great job. It was a good job. But I sat there and I was thinking of all the memories I've had with family, and they were blurry. So I could think of a lifetime making opportunities of following all those greener pastures without the memories in family, or I can come back and create stronger memories rather than making them blurry and recreate the memories and come back. It was not an easy decision to leave because I was scared to move back to Rwanda. Everybody kept telling, when you ask your colleagues and they ask you ask them, how is it in Rwanda? Everybody says, the unemployment rate is so high. There is nothing to do, and you're thinking, so if I'm coming back, what am I coming to do? And you're just scared, you're nervous. You kind of have that fear for the unknown of moving back. But it was not an easy decision, but having family in the background, like in my head, I'm like, I need to go closer to family, made it easy for me.
Absolutely. So what are the challenges have you met in your journey as an entrepreneur since you've come back home, and, settling back home?
So, like moving into a new country, like I'll give you a small story. It's not a long one, but when I went to the States, when I went to a restaurant, I asked for tea. We Rwandans love tea. So when I asked for tea, they brought me tea with ice in it. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not the drink I asked for. I asked for tea because I expected my tea to be hot. So that's some kind of culture shock that you have in a different country. When you move back to your own country, you kind of have a reverse culture shock as well, adapting and then trying to fit in again. People look at you like, oh, you're pretending that you don't know this. You're pretending that you don't know this. But you picked up so many things that you're trying to now, okay, I'm in a new environment. How am I going to act? But business-wise, where I work at, it's like crazy. It's a crazy and volatile environment over there in town. And getting used. It's like I had to learn to socially live among Rwandans again. But I love it. I love it.
I mean, it's
challenging,
home.
but I love it.
So to the young ones who are watching, saying I'd prefer to have a greener pasture instead, I don't know how easy it is for me to make a way and just be a business person. What would be your advice to them?
Well, I wouldn't say greener pastures. I wouldn't advise you these are the greener pastures. It depends on what you call greener pastures, because we people look at social media and we're trying to follow what everybody else is following. Like, Fiona got this, Fiona is here, I have to be like Fiona. But define your own greener pastures and know what you're actually wanting to achieve. Because if you don't have a definition of the greener pastures that you're trying to achieve, then you're just going to be running and get frustrated. So define of what you really want, get to know what you really want, and then
Follow
it's
it
not
up.
easy. It's not gonna be easy. It's not. You're going to have like a whole lot of pitfalls, but just don't give up.
Absolutely. Tips to be a successful entrepreneur. What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur?
I wouldn't consider myself successful yet, but one thing that I've heard people say, I'm scared to do this. I'm afraid to do this. Entrepreneurship, if you really want to be if you want to be an entrepreneur, like, let's not even say successful, like, just start. Start from somewhere and just don't expect it to be, I'm going to make like $1 billion overnight. No, everything comes, it's gradual. Like, just be patient. You'll make it one day, you know, just, it's not going to come overnight, but be patient with yourself. Fall, come back up, but just don't give up yet.
Keep yourself focused.
Yeah, very focused, like, and patience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Charity, for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, all the best in your journey.
Thank you so much.